courtyard and shoot them in heads many times." Fortuna chuckled warmly, as if remembering a favorite anecdote. "Yes, regime over," he said to Dr. Amesley. "Maybe a few thousand Securitate, they don't know it yet, and still shooting peoples, but that will be over soon. Bigger problem is what to do with 1 out of 3 peoples who spy for old government, eh?" Fortuna chuckled again, and in the sudden glare from an oncoming army truck, I could see his silhouette as he shrugged. There was a thin layer of condensation turning to ice on the inside of the windows now. My fingers were stiff with the cold, and I could barely feel my toes in the absurd bally dress shoes I had put on that morning. I scraped at some of the ice on my window as we entered the city proper. "I know that you are all very important peoples from the west," said Radu Fortuna, his breath creating a small fog that rose toward the roof of the bus like an escaping soul. "I know you are famous Western billionaire, Mr. Werner Deacon Trent, who pay for this visit," he said, nodding at me. "But I am afraid I forget some other names." Donna Wexler did the introductions. "Dr. Amesley is with the World Health Organization. Father Michael O'Rourke is here representing both the Chicago Archdiocese and the Save the Children Foundation." "Ah, good to have priest here," said Fortuna, and I heard something that may have been irony in his voice. "Dr. Leonard Paxley, Professor Emeritus of Economics at Princeton University," continued Wexler, "winner of the 1978 Nobel Prize in Economics." Fortuna bowed toward the old academic. Paxley had not spoken at all during the flight from Frankfurt, and now he seemed lost in his oversized coat and folds of muffler, an old man in search of a park bench. "We welcome you," said Fortuna, "even though our country have no economy at present moment." "God damn, is it always this cold here?" came the voice from deep in the folds of wool. The Nobel Prize-winning Professor Emeritus stamped his small feet. "This is cold enough to freeze the nuts off a bronze bulldog." "And Mr. Carl Berry, representing American Telegraph and Telephone," continued Wexler quickly. The pudgy businessman next to me puffed his pipe, removed it, nodded in Fortuna's direction, and went back to smoking the thing as if it were a necessary source of heat. I had a moment's mad vision of the 7 of us in the bus huddled around the glowing embers in Barry's pipe. "And you say you remember our sponsor, Mr. Trent," finished Wexler. "Yes," said Radu Fortuna. His eyes glittered as he looked at me through Barry's pipe smoke and the fog of his own breath. I could almost see my image in those glistening eyes. One very old man, deep-set eyes sunken even deeper from the fatigue of the trip, body shriveled and shrunken in my expensive suit and overcoat. I am sure that I looked older than Paxley, older than Methuselah, older than God. "You have been in Romania before, I believe?" continued Fortuna. I could see the guide's eyes glowing brighter as we reached the lighted part of the city. "I spent time in Germany shortly after the war. The scene out the window behind Fortuna was like that. There were more tanks in Palace Square, black hulks which one would have thought deserted heaps of cold metal, if the turret of one had not tracked us as our van passed by. There were the sooty corpses of burnt-out autos, and at least one armored personnel carrier that was now only a piece of scorched steel. We turned left and went past the Central University Library. Its gold dome and ornate roof had collapsed between soot-streaked, pock-marked walls. "Yes," I said. "I have been here before." Fortuna leaned toward me. "And perhaps this time one of your corporations will open a plant here, yes?" "Perhaps." Fortuna's gaze did not leave me. "We work very cheap here," he whispered, so softly that I doubt if anyone else except Carl Berry could hear him. "Very cheap. Labor is very cheap here. Life is very cheap here." We had turned left off of the empty Cala Victoriae, right again on Boulevardul Nicolae Balcescu, and now the van screeched to a halt in front of the tallest building in the city, the 22-story Intercontinental Hotel. "In the morning, gentlemen," said Fortuna, rising, gesturing the way toward the lighted foyer. "We will see the new Romania. I wish you dreamless."